Rumors are that allegedly Kenya may have been lying about her divorce from Marc Daly all along. What's going on? And what did she allegedly lie about? Well, I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk? And welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, do me a favor and get notified, so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. All right, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and it centers around rumors that allegedly Kenya may have been lying about her divorce from Marc Daly. What happened? And what is she allegedly lying about? Well, I have some new information that may answer all of those questions and more. And here it goes. Rumors are that allegedly Kenya and Marc's huge divorce battle may not be what it seems, and that fans and supporters may have been lied to. A source explains, Kenya and Marc's divorce has been long and drawn out for 2 years now. Many alleged reports and rumors painted Marc as the villain. Marc allegedly wanting alimony, half or more manor, and sole custody of their daughter sent many fans and supporters of Kenya's into immediate rage. What mother would agree to those terms, ended the source. However, that may not be the case. Allegedly, Marc doesn't want half those things and has made it clear to Kenya more than once. So, what did Kenya allegedly lie about to her fans? Well, an industry insider said, recent alleged documents show that Marc is claiming that Kenya is the one holding up finalizing their divorce and not him. The insider continued, many fans and people behind the scenes were shocked to discover that Kenya was the one who was allegedly not ready to cut ties with Marc. All this time, said the source, she has been playing victim, but also she may actually be the divorce villain. Another source said, not so fast. This person close to the situation who wished to remain anonymous had this to say. Kenya isn't the villain and is more than ready to sign off on her divorce from Marc. The thing is, she isn't willing to sign off on their old agreement. Allegedly, this is why I think a lot of things have taken a long time to be resolved. I think, said the source, in Kenya's life, some things have changed, and she has accumulated more wealth and fame and probably doesn't want to give half of it away just to get rid of Marc and their dissolved marriage. The source continued, Kenya allegedly wants a new agreement drawn up, and that's why they have a new court date. She is ready to fight for what is fair, and if she has fought for 2 years straight, her thinking probably is she could fight for 2 more months in order to get everything that she deserves and everything that is fair. Now, kinfolk, that is a lot of information regarding this new update with Kenya and Marc's very, very long and drawn out divorce. Something that we have been covering here on the channel since the beginning. But kinfolk, there is one part of this rumor that I am very surprised about and kind of suspicious about when it comes to Kenya and her divorce from Marc. And it's this. I am somewhat surprised that this detail wasn't revealed earlier about how Marc is ready to move on with the divorce from Kenya and that Kenya is allegedly the one who is unwilling to sign the documents. Because for so long, the rumor was behind the scenes and in the blogs and also in other articles was that Kenya was the one who was ready to move on and Marc was the one who was not ready to move on because of various reasons. A lot of people felt like Marc really wasn't ready to let go of Kenya and wanted to keep her in his life so he could have some type of control over her. Other people felt that Marc wasn't ready to move on from the divorce because he felt like he didn't have the upper hand in the divorce proceedings, and he wanted to leverage as much as he could to get as much as he could out of Kenya and her empire. And also, rumors were that Marc was the one who wasn't really ready to move on because he was allegedly jealous of Kenya's new romance with her new boyfriend. So with that being said, we had a lot of intel, a lot of alleged information and rumors pointing to the fact that Marc wasn't the one who was ready to move on. And every time we saw Kenya, when she was asked about it, always said that she's more than ready to move on, and that allegedly Marc was the one who was holding things up by not signing proper paperwork. Now, with that being said, since the divorce has started, kinfolk, it has been a lot, and I mean a lot of alleged information and speculation going on. As public as this divorce has been, there has been a lot of things my sisters are saying that has happened behind the scenes that a lot of us are just not privy to knowing about. And it's beginning to make sense now. And the reason why it's beginning to make sense brings me to the next point about this rumor. And another reason why I am personally side-eyeing Kenya just a little bit. And it's this. I think that Kenya has allowed this storyline and this narrative to go on for so long about Marc not wanting to, finalize the divorce simply because it benefited her storylines the last couple of seasons. Now, I will admit, Real Housewives fans, they love a good divorce fight. As crazy as it may sound, a lot of Housewives fans love to learn about the inner workings of a housewife's marriage. Who has the most money? Who's trying to get the most out of the situation? As we've seen with Kim, her whole persona has been somewhat lifted up these past couple of months because of her divorce. And now her persona has gained a lot of traction in the media, and people are speculating and talking about her divorce, and she is actually using that to leverage, for my sources are saying, allegedly trying to get back on the show for next season. So I can see why Kenya would allow this story or this narrative to go on for so long that Marc was the one holding the divorce, but in actuality, it may have actually been her, because in some ways it really benefited her and her storyline narratives. Now, my sources are saying that based on the alleged documents that have just come to light, Kenya not wanting to sign is because allegedly their agreement is old, is outdated. Some things have changed personally for Kenya, and she just wants something new drawn up, something new to give both of them a fresh start. However, Marc is allegedly unwilling to sign off a new document or draw up new agreements in a new document. I can only guess that maybe he feels like he has the better advantage with the original document. And I guess Kenya could probably say that, during that time, she was very emotional, probably wanted to get the divorce over with quickly, and probably conceded to giving Marc more than what she really in her heart felt like he deserved. Now, kinfolk, the next part of this rumor, I do find very interesting, but it also speaks to another part of Kenya, and is this. Kinfolk, Kenya is very smart. She's very smart. And I don't think for 1 second her not signing the documents has anything to do with her wanting to still be with Marc. I really do believe Kenya has allowed that ship to sail. And she's not allowing that ship to port back in her life anytime soon. And I do believe that her relationship with Marc is strictly about Brooklyn, and that's it. So that whole narrative that, she doesn't want to sign because she's not willing to let Marc go, or that she's trying to make things difficult, I think this doesn't fit Kenya and her personality and who she has shown us to be. Again, she's very smart, and I do think she is thinking long term. I feel like maybe with this old agreement that documents and reports are saying that she does not want to sign, really probably gave Marc, in her opinion, more than what she probably thought he was deserving of. So with that being said, I do think that she was smart not to sign it. Now, another part of me feels like if she really is tired of all this divorce proceedings going on and tired of the back and forth, then why not sign it just to get it over with? But like the source is saying that, maybe her thinking is, I've been fighting this long, and so I can probably fight just a little bit longer just to make sure that I am comfortable with the end result. Now, kinfolk, it's another part of this rumor that I can somewhat see as being factual. And we talked about this rumor, I think last month here on the channel. And it's becoming more and more apparent with each passing month of Kenya and Marc's divorce proceedings. And it's this. I really do feel like Marc may be running out of legal money to fight this divorce with Kenya. And I'm not saying this is what Kenya is doing, but I do know in the past that when there's a high profile celebrity who's getting divorced to someone whose profile is not as high as theirs, they tend to do this trick of constantly dragging that person in and out of court hearings and in and out of court dates in order to drain their legal fund. So in attempts that they've made around their cash, they might end up just walking away completely or conceding to a lot of things simply because they just don't have the money to continue to fight the court case. Now, with that being said, I do feel like this may not be something Kenya is doing simply because rumors were at the very beginning of their divorce, Marc was just asking for a lot of astronomical things allegedly. And I can see why Kenya probably going back and forth to court in the beginning, trying to get him to back down from a lot of those things and probably trying to prove to herself and the judge that, he is not deserving of those things and he probably does not have a right to those things. And so that I can actually see her doing and not necessarily trying to drain Marc of his funds. But, allegedly that's what a lot of celebrities do when they tend to marry someone who does not have the same celebrity or the same financial situation as they do when it comes to fighting a court case. Also, one thing Marc has continually asked for that has not changed throughout his entire divorce proceeding is that he wants Kenya to pay his lawyer fees. Now that, like I said on the last video, we talked about this situation, I think is a telltale sign that Marc just does not, or probably does not have the money to continue to fight. However, he's continuing to do it because Kenya is the one who's not signing off on their divorce. So I'm thinking he's hoping the judge might see that as a way of Kenya stalling and may ask her or, require her to pay his legal fees. Because if he didn't need her to pay his legal fees and that he could handle it on his own, then I think he'd be able to do this fight, out of his pocket. But this request, in my opinion, is proven otherwise. Now, kinfolk, the last part of this rumor that I hope is so true, I really do hope it's true, is this. Behind the scenes, my sources are saying that allegedly Kenya is very optimistic about this new court date and that she really feels like this court date is going to be the last court date of their divorce proceedings and things will be done and signed off on this summer. And I hope that's true. I am getting very tired of this divorce of Marc and Kenya, as well as a lot of other fans of Kenya's and fans of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. As you can see, even producers have not showcased her divorce from Marc that prominently this season. And I think that's because they too are probably tired of that topic. I think that it's more than time for Kenya to move on and really to close that chapter of Marc in her life. I do feel like once that chapter is officially closed, we can start to see her flourish even more, especially with her new boyfriend and new business ventures. I think Kenya is more than deserving of a fresh new start. I think her not signing the document allegedly of the old agreement was very smart on her behalf. I just hope that moving forward, her and Marc both can work in a very coherent way to where it seems as if they are both trying to inch closer to closing this chapter in their life. I think they are both probably tired of the back and forward. I know I am. And the court dates. And I really do think that this has been just a nagging presence in their life. So if my sources are correct, that Kenya allegedly is very optimistic about this upcoming court date as being their last and getting things signed off and agreed to, then we can all put this divorce proceeding behind us and move forward. But kinfolk, I want to know what you guys think. With this new information about Kenya not wanting to allegedly sign off on her marriage or her divorce from Marc, do you think that it's because she wants to antagonize Marc and wants just to hold his things up in court just to antagonize him? Or do you think that she has a very valid reason for not signing the document allegedly and that going to court is a better option, or to make sure everything is fair on both sides. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, kinfolk, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys over in the next one. Peace.